have a freckle with irregular edges.
Oh, speaking of irregular edges, welcome to the Tuesday show. It's all of us this time. It's me, Mr. Cow, Luke Stevens, and Kami Huddlestone. Welcome. We did it. we finally won. We beat those YouTube bastards. Matt Pat's next. We are officially the kings of this this platform. How you guys
I'm
doing?
gonna apply for that monetization while we're talking.
That's right.
How you do that?
We won. We won the money. We're gonna be able to make some cash flow on our channel now, which, as you guys know, as creators, that's what it's always been about. It's all I care about. It's all I think of. I want money. But we got some fun stuff to talk about today. There's some games coming out. There's some upgrades being made. And there's a little person named Luke here who's going to tell you all about what it means to be a Christian. It's going to be a really fun episode of the Tuesday show.
All about what it takes.
What it takes, what it means, and how it's done. But first things first, have I told you guys anything about the upgrades I'm making? Because I've kept them pretty secret.
No, tell me.
No.
So, in the past week or so, I'd been shopping around to get, because I'm moving out in about a month, and I'm going to build up myself a nice little studio with a set, because this isn't the most, the best setup in the world. I want it to be a little bit more personalized. So, I finally splurged, and I got a cable for my DSLR to make it my official webcam.
Nice.
Then, that's like the lame part. The good part is, got myself a new Shure microphone that'll be coming
what
today.
kind?
Getting that bad boy hooked up with a nice little Scarlett, whatever the hell, interface.
Which mic?
I know it's not the most popular one. I got the MV7, I believe. It's one with US.
Is that the small kind of compact one?
It's more compact, and it's USB and XLR.
Oh yeah, I have seen this one. That's a good little mic.
It's got a little touch screen on it, but I was planning on like bringing it around a little bit. So having USB is really nice, and having XLR on top of that is pretty damn cool. And the look of it's nice. Overall, just seemed like the right pick for me. Little expensive, not too bad though. And then of course I got that little interface now, that nice sleek looking red Scarlett one.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to put that all to good use. It will be put into use hopefully by Saturday when we're recording the next set of videos. Speaking of which, those sets of videos, we have basically a full week this week of content.
Yeah.
A full ride. What's you guys' favorite little piece of news we've had this week? If you had to pick.
Like this week so far, or from our filming session on Saturday?
Well, like up until like this point we're at right now. Like, what have you seen that made you go, "Ooh, video game"?
Ooh.
Like I always do.
Ooh, video game.
Oh, video game.
So, well, I mean, one thing that just hopped. We didn't discuss this on Saturday because we couldn't, because it didn't drop until yesterday. But one of the things that's been most interesting to me is the announcement that The Witcher 3 is going to be one of the PlayStation Now games for June. So given away for free on PlayStation's platforms. That's interesting to me because Cyberpunk still is not available on the PlayStation Store. They are not making it available as far as we know right now, which is why it's really weird to me that their other gigantic title is not just going to be on the store. It currently is, but not just going to be like continue to be on the storefront, but it's going to be the flagship game for the month of June in terms of promoting PlayStation Now for free. So I think it's cool. I think it's really cool to see. I don't know if this is part of the negotiation.
Yeah, you want that
crappy
crap game on our platform? Give us your good game so that we can give it to people for free as like an incentive. Imagine if they were like did a bundle. It's like $60 gets you The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I mean, I
just to
think
get rid of Cyberpunk.
they're like, let's just
Get
get
rid
rid
of
of it. Well, the other piece is that this is PlayStation Now, so my assumption is that this is part of the catalog. When you're paying the $15 a month or whatever for PlayStation Now, I pay for it. I really should know what it costs. I think it's 15.
I think it's like 80, right?
A month.
80 a month, yeah. Well, Sony's a little greedy sometimes, but when they're giving us such quality as The Witcher 3 and others,
Sonic.
yeah, 3 Sonic games.
Yeah, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Which, by the
be
way,
mad.
that Sonic news, I thought more people would care. No one cares. No one cares that Sonic is bad anymore because Sonic has been bad for 15 years. What a world we live in. That's all I wanted to say.
Personally attacked.
It's
What a
become
world.
very clear that, like, well, at least there was that movie that was kind of nice, and people were like, well, yeah, Sonic Mania was kind of cool. It's like, no, if it's bad, it's like, no one's surprised, so no one really has to say anything. Except I just did. So
Yeah,
there
you
you
did.
go. Cammy,
You
what
stood
kind
up.
of what are you hyped up about this week?
I'm still thinking about Horizon Zero Dawn.
Okay.
I'm still excited about it, and it keeps making the rounds on Twitter for various reasons.
Many
Some
of
of
them
them good.
stupid reasons.
Yeah, I was gonna
Many
say a lot of them
stupid reasons.
stupid, but every time I see it, I'm like, I want that game. I want that game so bad.
We had hashtag fix Sonic 2 years ago. Do you think we'll get hashtag fix Aloy?
Oh,
That's the thing. Like, whenever people freak out on the internet over something like this, for one, I think a lot of people, the people freaking out about it, are joking and trolling.
They
right?
have to be.
yeah.
Like, nobody's
they are.
actually going to skip the game because Aloy's face is round.
She looks too human.
She looks too. My favorite was she looks too masculine. Why are all females in video games looking really masculine now? I was like,
That Photoshop job that one guy did is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life. That's like the classic, like, I don't know. I don't want to say, because I don't know the guy. Maybe he's like a satirist or whatever. Maybe he's 100% serious. But that is like that thing you see, like the fat sweaty guy sitting down. It's like, you have to make her more hotter. You have to make her more hotter for me to look at her. It's like Michael Scott in The Office when like Pam takes off her glasses, or no, she puts her hair down, and Michael's like, "Oh, why don't you do that with your hair more often? It's much more sexier." He says it like that. It's just like creepy and just like that's not why people do things.
Well, it's such an incel sort
That's
of
the word I was
response to it.
trying to avoid, Luke. I'm not saying anything about no incels, but
Well, I am. Like, it's just funny to me. Like, if, again, I think the overwhelming majority of people that are doing this are joking and are hamming it up. There's probably 15 people that are actually like, you know, I just picture the South Park World of Warcraft guy like freaking out because she's not as hot as they wanted her to be. And they're honestly like, I was really excited for the game, but I can't support this.
I can't buy it
support
anymore.
this.
She doesn't look like someone I'd be attracted to. How can I play your video game?
Yeah, and clearly I have high standards. It's and part of it is like it's a stupid easy thing to beat up on, like
It's
the incel community freaking out about it, which is part of the reason I think people troll with it, is because it's just so funny to call them out. Plus, I mean, I of course wish that it wasn't done like this, because I think it does more harm than good. Yeah, it's funny, but it continues the stereotype that gamers are, you know, all incels that freak out if a character isn't hot enough and doesn't have big enough rack. And like I saw on I think it was NBC, they were reporting on this Twitter trend because they were like, gamers are upset because the design, and I'm like, okay guys, come on, like this affects not just this little sphere on Twitter, this affects the industry as a whole. And especially a lot of people have been trying to make the gaming community legitimate and legitimize it within the broader media sphere. That's like been Jeff Keighley's life goal. And to see stuff like this, yeah, it's funny to mess up Jeff Keighley's goals and aspirations, but I think it's all fun and games until it does a lot of harm. In other news, that guy that tweeted out the one that got viral and spread everywhere, the comparison of the Photoshop face with the actual one. I just checked my timeline because I retweeted a guy that said, "Industry insider knowledge, tweets like this are one of the main reasons we don't hire fans." And I quote tweeted that. That quote tweeted one, the original is deleted, so he's gone, and I can't find his account. So I think he bailed.
That was probably a good move.
He was saying, he was the one that was like, "Oh, why do they all look so masculine now? Like, look at Ellie and Abby, they're so masculine.
Why can't game developers and artists just make characters I want to fuck? That's all I want."
Why don't they all have big tits?
Why can't they make a list of things that make me want to have sex with a character and just
you
make
want it to have a
characters according to that?
personality?
Yeah, no, it's like when I was talking to my buddy. I'll leave this buddy unnamed just because I don't want him to catch flack for this, but it was an interesting perspective. We were playing well, I think it was like Warzone or something, and he hopped on, and I had this like crazy skin of this gigantic dude, and he's wearing all camo and stuff. Has this skin. I said his name. Anyway, he has this.
I'll beep it out and put over Caleb's name.
Yeah. Anyway, he has this skin of this like really tight skin suit around this female character, curvaceous female character, and I was like, "Wow, Michael, is that you're ready to go to war skin?" And he's like, "Dude, if I'm going to like play a game, any game, and I have to look at the character for any amount of time, I'd much rather look at a female than a male." He's like, "Why do you think I like Tomb Raider so much more above and beyond Uncharted? If I'm going to stare at someone's ass for the entirety of the game because it's third person, I'd rather stare at a woman's ass."
Oh, man.
I was like, "You know what? Your logic is undeniable." Like an iRobot, It's just like, you know what?
Hold on.
You've thought this through.
Warzone is in first person.
Warzone is, which is why I was like, so just the menu. But then when he brought up Uncharted and Tomb Raider, it made sense. Because, like, yeah, Uncharted, you're playing a 15-hour campaign just staring at somebody's butt for most of it because it's third person. Which is why it was so funny. Like, so is that one of the tiebreakers? Like, can you imagine if in one of my critiques, I was like, this just goes to show, I like Uncharted, but I just like Tomb Raider so much more
because
the level design's worse, the graphic is really off, and like the level design, but it's a chick's butt, so I have somewhere to look while playing.
If we take a look at the horny-mometer, you can clearly see that it just barely ticks above. I mean, Nathan Drake's a good-looking guy, but I don't know.
Kind of a flat ass.
If I'm playing an adventure game, if I'm playing a puzzle game, whatever I'm playing, my first thought is, well, how like I want to come. So it's like that's foul. I'm sorry. I stand by this. I stand by. I still think Aloy's head, because of the dreadlocks, makes her head look a bit too big.
She's always had weird proportions, and I stand by this. In the first game, especially her kid model looked ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. Looked like a bobblehead. And in the first game, she also kind of had just weird, I think it's part of the art style because all of the characters had it. It wasn't just Aloy, for the record. But even in this game, like you were saying last week, or when we were filming, Jacob, that Erend, is that his name?
Yeah.
That he had really weird Pixar-like dimensions and looks, and I agree.
Yeah, his face did this. Look. His face did this thing. Sorry for listening with audio. I'll try to describe it. He tilts up his head. He sees Aloy, and he says, "Aloy." I didn't have the audio when I first saw that, but his expression on his face was like lifting the entire one side of his face. So it was, "Aloy?" Like that. And it curves up like a Pixar. Good, actually. Yeah, like a Pixar character. Aloy? Like that. So it's so he comes up with it, which is a totally Pixar thing to do. They love that like popping up like kind of animated but also going for realism thing. Cuz Pixar isn't really too much about animation anymore as much as they are like, let's just make things look like really realistic. most of the time. The new movie Luca or whatever looks kind of stylized, but we'll see. I'll rant about Pixar some other day when we've got like 3 hours for me to complain about how they're not being as goofy animated as I like. But I just think that that's probably the art style mixing with a very like an animation style that they thought would look good for the scene, and it just doesn't quite mix for me. But I
Well,
think
it's weird
I'm the
when
only
you
one
go
that's
for
complained
like
about it.
photorealism with sort of a cartoony art style. Like on the PS4, it worked because you couldn't push the graphics as far as they wanted to go. What is that clicking sound?
That's my hamster having a drink.
That's
I thought it was a bomb. That was terrifying.
I'm like looking at him like, dude,
I
how
thought, is it
thirsty
my
are
air-
you?
I was like, is it my air vent or something clicking? I don't know.
Nah, it's really hot, so I think he's like woke up and he's like, oh my god.
I feel you, bro.
Water.
I feel you, bro.
Ignore
But yeah,
that.
it's.
Oh jeez.
I think the art style can work well, but when the art style is used while getting it photorealistic, it can lead to this like kind of. It takes you back for a second because you're not sure which they should be targeting. And obviously, you look at most animated feature-length films from the last decade or so. I mean, the graphics and what they're able to do are incredible, even though they're stylized. And we've seen what photorealistic animation can look like. I mean, that's what special effects are. That's what a lot of these cinematic trailers are that we see for games.
Love, Death, and Robots has a whole bunch of photorealistic stuff.
I
Love,
need to
Death,
watch
and
that.
Robots.
Oh, yeah. Have you guys not checked out Love, Death, and Robots?
Not yet. I've been hearing a lot of things.
Oh, I fully right. It's a little bit. The first season is incredibly gory. I will warn you, but
That's
it's gory in that way. It's like it's like if you like makeup, it's like oh then you check out The Walking Dead or you check out like all these different things. It's like yeah, it's a little bit gory, but you can appreciate that. So it's like you appreciate the animation style to get that to work. But I highly recommend it. It's a bunch of different. It's an anthology series, so a bunch of different stories, a bunch of different art styles. It's tremendous. But yeah, a lot of movies and video games do like that slightly stylized. But like in Toy Story 4, a movie I haven't seen yet, I should mind you, there was all that. You guys remember the cat? People were all talking about the cat because of how realistic the cat looked.
Mm-hmm.
That cat, I don't know if I like. It looked awesome. It looked incredible in terms of animation. I don't know how that mixes with like the art style in that movie. Because seeing them side by side, it doesn't look like it mixes at all. It looks like they're kind of doing two things. Because there's like that one. There's that one side of it that's like, oh, I want to make it look like as realistic as possible. And then there's that other side that's like, I want it to like look like like movement wise, like physics wise, lighting wise, detail wise. And then there's like the aesthetic side where it's like, I want a character that looks like just nice to look at. Doesn't matter about realism or anything like that. And I feel like we're kind of getting like into a little bit of a mixture with that with Horizon Zero Dawn. Probably Guerrilla Studios is probably the one that's the most obvious. I can't really name another studio that's really moving it that direction. Maybe Nintendo. You guys see Mario's mustache?
Yeah, that's
Jesus
disturbing.
Christ. Yeah, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about Mario having to grow facial hair. He looks like a little gummy bear character. Let him be a little gummy bear character. You disgusting peasants.
Disgusting, terrible, no talent.
It kind of like it reminds me of like the Uncanny Valley. Like it's not the
Yeah.
Uncanny Valley, but it's the same sort of like this isn't right. Like it doesn't sit right in my brain.
It's
Ugh.
just a little bit strange. And I'm not saying like any of it's like terrible. Because
No.
like these are all incredibly minor complaints. I had one problem with the There's for some reason a timer on my Zoom thing and that popped up on screen. There's not a timer.
Because if you
on it.
don't pay for it, you're limited to 40 minutes.
Oh, that's right. We have 3 people today.
Oh Do we
my
need to go
God.
on Discord?
Jesus, God, Christ, Jesus. Now we'll just boot it up again in a sec. We'll end the animation segment and then we'll jump into another one.
I was surprised that you wanted to use Zoom because I was like, it's been a nightmare when I tried to do it without.
I really
Like,
enjoy
since
Zoom.
we canceled our membership.
I thought I still had my membership, but I guess I did not. Anyways, what
Let's
do you
talk
guys?
about something for 9 minutes 20
Yeah, we've got to
seconds.
pick a 9-minute subject. This is a ukulele.
Nice. My boyfriend bought a banjo the other day.
Really?
Yeah,
It's like a really American instrument.
he likes a lot of instruments. He plays guitar, and he essentially wants to be a cowboy. So
Oh, fun. You should come
Yeah,
see
bring
us.
him on down.
'Cause
Let's
this
show him
is
where
like
the
Cowboy
tumbleweeds are
Central.
at and the
yeah, I'll
That's what
try and he might get really
everyone
embarrassed. I took a recording, so I might try and find it.
oh.
everyone wants like everyone thinks Texas and like probably Kansas are the cowboy centers of the world.
Oh, like
Tho-
Oklahoma.
the Oklahoma, like granted, those have a lot of farmers and they wear a lot of cowboy hats and that's kind of the general culture. But eastern Colorado and southern Colorado, it is desolate. It's wide. It's not like a fashion trend. It's just the way of life. So we have a lot of cowboys here.
That was very
Wyoming's
deep.
the same.
It's not a fashion trend; it's a way of life.
It's a way of life.
Wyoming's
You don't
like
understand.
Wyoming's like all fake cowboys, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's the social thing. Like
It's the
Wyoming,
social cowboy.
the money doesn't come from farming and cows and cattle. It did at one time, but now the real money comes from oil. They're all oil magnates. The
Don't
wealthy
forget
people there.
wind. We make energy from wind.
Yeah, you killed all your eagles with. all of
Yeah,
your
the
wind
bald
turbines.
eagle is extinct now.
I'm sending a video
Just in
on
time for the
our
4th of
chat,
July. Oh, right, hold on.
but it will take a minute.
I ate a piece of my pancake. I just remembered we actually got a sponsor for this video.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so welcome everyone. We'll take this as a little ad read. I've never done an ad read before. Today I'm very happy to say that we are sponsored by the good folks over at Perkins Family Restaurant. Perkins Family Restaurant is what's most likely called a waiting room for the dead. It's where nursing homes send their elderly people.
It's the Florida
eat.
of restaurants.
Yeah, it's the most depressing, sad place on the entire goddamn planet. But they make some killer pancakes and like pie and whatnot. So go ahead and use offer code I'm gonna die one day soon in the comments below. You'll be helping to support our channel, and you will get a free pancake on press start. That's I'm gonna die someday soon. Perkins.com/press start. Perkins, might as well do it before you get screwed.
That was beautiful.
We're also
If you
sponsored
want
by
to
Loot
sponsor
Crate.
the show, please reach out to us. We'll have to get the ad read. I know you're so. I did see a clip from PKA, that podcast with Woody and all those guys, and it was a clip from like a decade ago, but they had a sponsor which was this like all-in-one healthy smoothie company, and basically they send you what looks like just a water bottle, but it's filled with the smoothie mix, and you just add water to it, shake it up, and then it's a smoothie, and it's supposed to be really healthy and good for you. The whole gimmick was that the sponsor paid them to shake up the smoothies on screen on the show, and drink it throughout the course of the stream, throughout the course of the 4-hour podcast, and do ad reads throughout, kind of checking in, saying how much they loved it and everything. And as they went through the show, the first time they shook it up, they're like, wow, it's kind of getting stuck, but that's okay. We didn't refrigerate it, and it's, we're not doing it properly probably. And they take a swig, and immediately, like, you can tell they're all thinking, this is the worst thing I've ever tasted in my life. And they try to like play it off like, you know what, healthy stuff, it's not always the most sugary or tastiest thing, but you drink it because you should. And they go about the show, and as it goes on, eventually you see a switch flip for them, and they're like, screw it, this thing sucks, we're not getting paid, this is a terrible ad read, let's just roast this thing. So they started talking about how it looked like diarrhea in a bottle. Like, if you ever want to drink something that's made of mud, you can get this. Look at that. Like, started just roasting it. And it's really funny. I recommend that. I'm not saying that your ad read was like that, Jacob, but
Hey man, I'm just saying
that's what it reminded me of.
I'm just saying, man, I got Perkins this morning because for whatever reason, whenever me and Cammy do this podcast, we always do it at lunchtime for me, and I don't eat breakfast most days. So I was like, okay, so I get starving, and then we always hit this point where I'm like, if I don't eat, I might fall over. and so we have to end a little sooner. But I got it. I got one pancake, and we're gonna take a brief intermission. I'm gonna put in a fart sound. Anyone want any other sound effects for the intermission?
I'll take a camel crying.
I'll take a cat meowing.
Okay, I'm gonna layer them all on top of each other. Go! Toss a coin to your wager, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. Toss a coin. Let's see if I can go even higher. Toss a coin to your wager, oh friend of humanity. Toss a. Okay. Yeah, welcome back to the Tuesday show, everybody. That's our little musical interlude.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
I said some foul stuff that I don't know if it'll come into the video or not. But
Come into the video.
you'll at least get some of me singing that side. It'll probably come into the video.
We'll come into the video.
Let's be honest. There's an Into Juice opening in my town, and I can't even express how excited I am.
I know you're excited because this isn't the first
This
time
is
you've
not the
talked
first
about
time.
You
it.
talk
Well,
about
today it
all the
opened.
time.
Today it opened up. I am
you been
psyched.
Are you going later?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab one before I go down to Fort Collins today. My friend Jade, she has a friend coming. I think his name's Jared. He is from Hawaii.
My name is Jeff.
He has never been to the mainland of America. So we're going to take it. Every person's dream when they come to America, going to Wyoming. You know, when you're really excited about seeing America's sights, you go to
First thing you think of.
You go to southern Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
Beep out southern Wyoming and put in northern Montana. Same shit. It doesn't matter. I'm not even actually going to do that bit. It's all the same, just in a straight line. It's just trees and fields. We have Yellowstone. Shut up. It's dumb. There's so many other parks you can go to. So we're going to go down to Colorado and see some real shit. See some real stuff.
See some real shit.
Yo, I don't want to hear nothing about nobody going nowhere except for some real shit. You know what I'm saying? So that'll be good fun. I'm excited for that. But Into Juice probably takes the cake still. I'm still more excited for Into Juice. That green tea thing I had with soy milk, didn't know I liked soy milk. I fucking love soy milk. I love soy milk.
Soy boy.
I guess I'm a soy boy. Jacob Stevens on the channel Press Start is a soy boy.
Confirmed soy boy.
We've just found out he's in fact a soy boy. What's that guy? What's that guy's name who says soy boy?
Soy boy?
Soy boy. No, that's racist what you just did. Soy boy.
I thought I did the same thing.
Oh, you did a racist thing. I'll tell you what.
You did
Luke,
a
we've had to
racialist
Luke,
thing.
we should probably do this live on the air. You've had a knack
Yeah.
because you're a racist. For being racist.
You have an accent.
You just love being racist. You told me one day you came over to my apartment and you said I came here to eat pancakes and be racist, and I forgot my pancakes.
I mean, that sounds like me.
Yeah, that whole day was just it was crazy.
Yeah, that whole day, man.
Now we just pan down to the comment section where someone is like,
Yeah.
I can't believe Luke's actually racist. This is insane to me. I used to respect him so much. One person's gonna take this seriously. It's like,
And then the next day, Jacob was fired.
is Jacob speaking the truth and then quickly trying to cover it up? What's happening with this channel?
Yeah, I just text Jacob right now.
Yeah,
You're gone.
we can always find another editor.
You know,
You stupid bitch. Anyways,
quite easily. I text you, I can find another editor like, and then you're like, that the message ends. You look up at the camera and I'm staring at it.
and then I die. I explode.
You just explode.
I explode, and MatPat is sitting in my chair.
But that's just a theory.
Would you
I'm
hire
so sick
MatPat
of
to
his
go to your
stuff.
wedding, and after every single thing with the to have and to hold to keep, will you do that? And then you do, I do, and then he just goes, but that's just a theory after each one of those. Like,
I don't
anytime you
know.
make a promise to your soon-to-be wife or husband, he just like is like, that's just a theory.
I don't know. When we met him at E3, he seemed like a nice guy. Very short.
Is he really that
Like,
short?
he's got to be 5'5".
Okay,
Like,
well,
we were in security going into the main hall, and it was him and his wife, whatever his wife's name is. She was like human size. He was like toy size.
oh no. Yeah, I
Like,
mean, I
very
imagine
nice
he's kinda
guy,
short.
She
but I'm
was
not joking.
human
He came out
size.
probably to about here. on-
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah.
Aw.
Wait, no, Luke, you're 5'3", so no. I did do that the other day. My friend JJ was up here, and he was talking about like being tall because people are so self-conscious about their height. It clearly doesn't affect anything because Matt Pat is incredibly successful. Kevin Hart, top comedian in the world, he's short.
Napoleon.
Napoleon
Warwick
was
Davis.
short. What's that guy? Warwick, whatever.
Warwick Davis.
Is that him? The guy
Yeah.
who's in? He's been in like every Star Wars movie.
The guy's in everything.
Yeah, like he's tremendous.
Everything.
It doesn't mean anything if you're short. But my friend JJ was up here and he was like talking about height, and I was like, how tall are you? And he's like, I'm like 5'11". He's like maybe an inch taller. Or no, you know what? I'm 5'9", so 5'11". He's not 5. He's 5'10". He's like an inch taller than me. Let's face it. I know my height. I'm proud to be 5'9". But I started going to him like, I was like, you're not. There's no way. And he's like, what do you mean? Do you think you're 6 foot? I was like, no, dude, I'm 5'3". You're like 5'4". There's no way you're that tall. And then I like he was like second guessing because of course I mess around a lot, but I really sold it this time. He was like, well, I'm 5'9", man, or I'm 5'10". I don't know what to tell you, man. I was like, dude, I'm 5'3". You are 5'4". You are tiny. You are like an ant to me. And he got really upset.
You are nothing.
That is the best. What's that called? Gaslighting. Just where you're like,
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing. I don't know if that's gonna
You're a
stick around for
gaslighter.
much longer, but it is so much fun. God, it's basically lying to people for funny. So,
In other
Nice.
words,
Funny.
American politics.
hey-o.
Hey,
Oh.
political.
I was reading the Wall Street Journal this morning, and lest there be a head on my doorstep.
Lest. I haven't heard someone use lest in a sentence in probably a couple.
Except for
3
when it's in the
centuries.
context of Luke and then preceded by the word molest. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's a bit of a stretch.
Because
But
Luke likes to. Anyway,
you know what? You swung for the fences.
I
Too
almost
bad you
made
hit
it work.
like the puppy sitting in the bleacher next to you, but you tried.
I did try.
You gave it a shot.
And that's the thing not a lot of people realize about YouTube. YouTube is just trying and not succeeding
Most of the time.
most of the time. It is it's simpler than I think a lot of people make it. Because a lot of people go into YouTube and say, I would like to be sponsored by Loot Crate and get free Loot Crate stuff. That's all people care about these days. That's all they want. It goes Loot Crate, fame, and then maybe money. Like money's somewhere there. But Loot Crate is always at the top for some reason because they have such great products and they're able to get it to your doorstep each month with all these different pop culture things.
Well, so Loot Crate has offered to sponsor me like 4 separate times. And they've like declared bankruptcy repeatedly. They've had a lot of issues, changed owners, changed managers. They've changed brand managers. So different people are talking to me about sponsoring at the same time, which is abnormal. But they did all that. And like they've sent me so many Loot Crates. I'm not actively sponsored by them as far as I know right now, but they keep sending me stuff. And I don't like, I'm glad to have it, but they just keep sending it.
Hey man, I don't know nothing about that, but Loot Crate is a fantastic service that gives out great products, and I can't believe there's so many kids out there these days that all they want is Loot Crate because Loot Crate is the best bang for your buck deal on the entire internet.
Is this your way of telling me you want one of my Loot Crates?
This is my way of telling you that we are sponsored by Loot Crate, everybody.
You know, if there ever comes a day where we are sponsored,
No
no
one
one
will
will believe it.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of the fun of it. That's the fun of having a channel at this point. Because I'm sure people can notice. You can't take this too seriously.
Don't take me seriously.
You can't take any of this too serious. Do you see where we all are? We're in rooms with computers.
Most people are.
We're in rooms with computers with little microphones. I've got my fat man titties hanging on top of my stomach, resting comfortably. You can't take this too seriously.
They're gently.
This whole thing. You do your thing. You do what you like. You get out. That's this gig.
That's life.
That's the whole thing. You can't take this stuff too seriously. Luke Stevens, you can't take this stuff too seriously.
Okay. Noted.
Anyways, we're having Joe Rogan on next week. I want to make fun of Joe Rogan for being bald, but I feel like no one's done it yet, so I want to wait until it's more popular. Anyways, we seem to be lacking some talking points, at least with you two, because I can talk for hours about nonsense.
I mean, honestly, I am genuinely just enjoying sitting back,
listening to my nonsense.
Yeah, like we said, we were going to talk about tattoos. We've said we're going to talk about stuff before, and I just kick back.
Well, we should talk about tattoos because she's getting a new tattoo.
You're getting a tattoo. What is this tattoo?
I'm getting a video game tattoo.
What video game?
It's Red Dead 2.
Oh, I know what this is. You told me about it.
Yeah, you know the deer from the dream sequences.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting that tattooed.
She's getting Dutch with a speech bubble that says, "Have some damn faith."
Yeah, with a mango around.
Yeah,
it.
with a mango that frames the whole thing.
Yeah, beautiful.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Is it gonna be like, a whole back piece?
No.
Spread shoulder to shoulder.
The deer head is coming on her like actual face. I should.
Yeah, I was gonna say
better.
it's my.
The deer
face.
head is on her face. Whoops.
No, it'll be on my leg, so it'll be my fourth one.
Oh, so you already have tattoos?
I do. I feel like whenever I talk about it, a lot of people don't notice I have them. But there's one on my arm there.
Oh yeah, I guess yeah.
Yeah, and I have one on my foot and one on my thigh, which normally you can't see because I live in jeans, but because it's ridiculously hot in England, you can actually see it. And I was telling Jacob, it's like anyone who has tattoos will know. You forget that you have them. Just because obviously they're on you all the time, you don't have to do anything with them. So you forget and you look down and you see something dark and you instantly think it's like a spider or something and it makes you jump. So I keep looking at my leg and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
I do love that idea of like waking up and like you're half asleep and you just
Yeah.
like see the tattoo.
That one especially because it's so thin and like on my arm I go to sleep and then wake up and be like, fucking
Especially
hell.
people that have like the hyper photorealistic tattoos and they get like spiders and mice tattooed on their hands.
Craziness.
Luke, what would it take for me to get you a tattoo of Kim Jong-un on your forearm that's hyper realistic?
So I've thought about getting a tattoo. No, actually, my buddy Caleb has asked to go get tattoos together many times. He's working on sleeves. He's getting there slowly but surely. He's got a big chest piece and all sorts of stuff. I've pondered it. We liked the idea of getting like the Witcher signs that correlate to, because we have 4 people in our close friend group, and we thought it would be nice to get the Witcher signs that correlate closer to each of our personalities. So Caleb's really bombastic and crazy, so he would get Igni. I'm kind of slow and methodical, so I could be, really I could go with like any of them. I could go Yurden, I could go Axie, I could go Quen. Like I could do anything and it would be justified. Like I could explain it away. So I've thought about doing that, and that would just be a quick and easy, shoulder or like on your calf or something fun like that. But we've just never done it yet. So I'm pure as the undriven snow. Jacob, are you getting a tattoo? Would you get a tattoo?
Oh, I have a plan for a tattoo. I only really want to get one. I want to get Icarus from the Led Zeppelin albums on my shoulder once I graduate. That's about
I
it.
warn you now, you will say I only want one. They are very addictive.
I mean, it might be, you know me and addictions. I kick them like I would a toddler. Not
Not
easily.
much.
No, yeah, not
No.
much.
They're very
Yeah,
addictive.
who
I
knows?
was-
Maybe I'll jump on a. I'd
So-
like a
so you-
Kirby one. Kirby would be cool.
Yeah,
That
go
would be
for
really
it.
cute, actually.
I want to. Well, I want it like near my penis, like right where my penis would be.
As if it's like about to transform.
No, like it's about to suck in the penis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then have the penis's power. That's
Yeah,
kinda
like
what
I would get it on like
Oh,
my
so, like,
inner
well,
thigh.
what
Wow,
you
look
could
at that.
Oh wow!
Like left thigh, you have it facing the penis with the mouth open. You show the air sucking in, and then you go to the right thigh, and it's like the progression of the story, and it's Kirby having consumed the penis, looking exactly the same because it was not that much.
Okay, that works.
That way you tell a story.
When I lift
I
up
like
my
tattoos that tell a story.
quick reminder, when I lift up my leg, I'm gonna Jacob, when you're editing this, blur it out so it looks like there's a gigantic penis coming up instead of my leg.
No, but
You gotta remember these things somehow, Luke.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess.
If you want a tattoo, I'd really recommend going for it. And the pain really isn't that bad. I know people may.
I've been told, like, one of the places I've always liked the look of tattoos is on the ribs, but I'm
Yeah.
told ribs are an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, I mean I've heard that. I don't have any on my ribs, but it's where the bone is.
Like, what was your most painful one? Because you
My
have the
foot.
wrist, foot. Is it like top of your foot? Is it like
Gonna
on
have
the
to
side
blur
by
this
your
one out
ankle?
as well.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna make Cannon's penis show. Hold on.
Oh, side of the
There.
foot, kind of on the ridge. Okay.
Yeah, that would hurt like crazy.
That was my first one.
How
and
long
it
did
was
that take?
like 5 minutes.
Oh, that was a quick.
That one took 5 minutes. That one took half an hour, and then gonna have to go on my tiptoes again. Ugh. That one
Oh, that's a big boy.
that took 6 hours.
Heyo.
Jeez. All
Yeah.
one session.
Yeah, so I just 3 hours break, 3 hours.
Oh.
I'm shit with pain, so if I can do it, like they're not that bad. It's kind of like you guys know what cat scratches feel like, obviously.
Oh yeah.
It's like a cat scratch.
Got a bad one right
Cats hate me.
It feels like a cat scratch, and then after a certain amount of time, it sort of goes numb.
there. Yeah.
Like you go very numb to the feeling. So like when I had my leg one, like yeah, that took 6 hours. The only reason we took a break was for lunch. It wasn't like I felt the need for a break. And like the whole time we were just talking about like TV. It was when the last season of Game of Thrones was coming out, so we were talking about Game of Thrones, how bad it was. So it's like, yeah, I think if you want a tattoo, life is too short. You should just go and get the tattoo.
Yeah. Well, the one I've always personally wanted, after I saw Rocky Horror Picture Show. Have we all seen it, first of all?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm
just
sorry.
tweet down, but the bing.
It's so
Tim
good.
Curry.
Tim Curry at his best.
So
It's a national
sorry.
treasure for England. You should watch it.
Yeah. Bloody hell.
Bloody hell, isn't it?
Bloody
It really is fantastic. Like, but anyway, there's kind of the climactic scene. Frankenfurter, he sings a song where it's structured around one simple phrase that's repeated, and then they build on top of it in the music, and it works fantastically well. It's very beautiful. And I won't spoil too much about what's going on at the time, but it's a very moving scene. And the phrase that Tim Curry as Frankenfurter is singing repeatedly is, I don't want to like.
Oh, say it and I'll beep it out. We've had to beep out so much stuff.
Well, basically, it's "Don't dream it, be it" is what the theme is, and I've always liked that. Like, yeah, don't dream it, be it. And because as long as you're dreaming something, you'll never actually achieve jack shit. You have to go out and be it and do it. Nothing's going to be handed to you. You're not going to stumble into success. You have to take it by the horns and do it. So I've always liked the idea of getting a tattoo with the Man Ray lips paired with it. I think that'd be really cool. It would make me look like I'm in the gay scene in the 1980s, but
I don't know.
You're basically in the gay scene in the 2020s. What's the difference?
Basically, I mean,
why would you laugh at that? It's Pride Month. Are you laughing at?
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh,
Come on, Luke.
Yeah,
Come on,
I'm
Luke.
sorry. I'm so used to you saying things that.
No, that's
ridiculous.
that's one genuine. I just my friend Coulter, a very kind boy,
Coulter
just moved far away, so I got to see a good amount of my my friends that are in that community pretty recently. So it's on my mind. Good luck to you, Coulter, out in the big city.
Good luck.
He's gonna get killed.
Which
Probably.
big city? Where's he going?
Oh, he's going to Denver.
Oh, that's not really a big city.
Well, when you're going from living in Wyoming, it's like going to fucking Rapture. Like,
Kind of.
that's your video game reference of the week, everybody. Go ahead and like and subscribe to get more
Woo!
video game references when you come to Press Start.
If you want, while I'm getting my tattoo, I'll like record it and send it to you and be like, look, this is how painless it is.
And
Go
then
and get it.
you just hear.
Just
"Ah!"
bawling the whole time.
Yeah, they like pans over and she's not even tattooing me. She's just holding the gun like above
They're
me.
just staring at the camera.
Yeah, she's
just
staring
like,
at the camera
"Oh,
like
damn."
really concerned. Like, I know when this starts, the screaming will start again too. I heard you screaming while getting a tattoo while I was in the States. You were really loud, Cam.
It echoed through the ionosphere down
Yeah.
to Colorado. It was crazy.
Sounding down the
They are
mountain
not that
range.
bad. They are not that bad.
I like the idea of it. I'm sure one of these days I'll have a couple drinks. I'm gonna be like, screw it, we're doing it.
Then you just
For me,
go
I'm just like trying to figure out what the best placement would be.
on your
Yeah.
lips.
I do know somebody that got something very vulgar tattooed on the inside of their bottom lip.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So they would, whenever they were like really pissed at somebody, they would just like grab it and pull down. A really weird way of like flipping someone. off,
Hey,
basically.
listen here, buddy. Look at what do you think that is?
Exactly. That's
Fuck
what
with me, you fuck with the world, buddy.
Yeah, that's
I was
like
fat all
basically
over
what
myself.
they imagined doing.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it grew
That's
over
funny,
itself so
though.
quickly. She had to get it redone.
Yeah, they
like,
do.
every 8 to 10 months. Otherwise,
like
it just looked like a black
Palm
blob.
tattoos as well.
Yeah.
Like
Which
people who
makes
get
no
these like
sense.
amazing tattoos on their hands and then within a year they're like
Get it on the back of your hand, Dumbo.
no, even there I think can be
Come on.
If you're washing your hands and
difficult.
doing stuff, like
Don't
yeah,
wash your
using your
hands.
hands all the time. It's a problem with it healing as well because you move the skin around so
Yeah.
much it won't heal as well.
I could see that. My Nikki's stepbrother, he has this gigantic tattoo. Like you can tell he's kind of a frat bro, but he has this gigantic tattoo on his thigh. It stretches knee to hip bone on the front of his thigh. And it is George Washington, shirtless in a six-pack, riding a bald eagle, holding like a donut in one hand and a flag in the other. It's the most American thing ever. You can see it through most pants.
Just
it's
the
like
power of America
Well, it's like bright
shines
neon
through the
red.
pants.
Basically, like it looks like he spilled something on. If he's wearing like a nice pair of khakis or something, that breathe a little, the bright red and blue like pigment shines right through. You can see it super easily.
If he was a girl, I bet everyone would, like all of the women would come up to him like, do you need, I have a
Do you need
pad.
help?"
I have a tampon.
If he was a girl, if he was a boy, can I make it any more obvious? Anyway.
So yeah, I've seen some silly tattoos. That's probably the most outrageous. It's not like I do really enjoy seeing some of these failed tattoos where it's like they have a
Same.
misspelled quote or
That one
um
of like the baby. The guy got a tattoo. He's like, I got my little girl, and the baby looks like it's a dropped cake. It's
no.
amazing. I
Well,
love that one.
Yeah.
I went through a like small phase of Ink Masters, that TV show,
Yeah.
Oh.
and there were some people that
Awful
like they
ones.
this one lady, she wanted like a Bible verse tattooed, and so she did it, and then the judges, they're just deadpan, and they're like, "What does that say?" She's like, "First Corinthians 6:17." Read it again, and she looks even closer, and the camera zooms in on it, and it's like First CUNT Corinthians,
Beautiful.
and it's like a lovely cursive font, but it very
First
clearly
Corinthians.
says
Amazing. I've seen one before where they had a like a clock, and they'd got the numbers wrong on a clock.
Oh my god.
I don't remember whether they had like they'd like skipped a number, or they like I think they put the one at the top maybe
so
instead of
it
the
was all off
12.
by an hour. That's
Oh, and you saw it
That
and
would
you were like,
bother me for I might not be able to like live with myself if I had a tattoo like that.
oh, I'd have to have it changed.
Yeah.
well, like, but like they always
Oh.
do the tattoo covering. Can you like? I've heard of tattoo like laser removal. That's a thing, right?
Yeah.
It just takes
Like,
time
it's
and
just-
money.
Expensive.
It's very expensive. It takes a long time. Like you have to go back for several sessions, and it's more painful than the tattoo itself.
Yeah, it's lasers.
Yeah.
Burning your skin.
I mean, they're breaking
So-
up the metallic pigments and stuff under your skin, letting it
Yeah.
process through your blood. And I've heard they can't do it. One of the reasons it takes so long is because if they went and tried to do it all in one sitting, like it would poison your blood.
Probably. It's like I think a lot of people, if they like, I want to say like 90% of people probably go for a cover up, and then the majority of the people who get it lasered are probably only getting it lasered so it's fainter, and then they'll get a cover up like to hide the top of it. Like they're not going to get it lasered to the point where it's completely gone. They just have it fainter.
Do you think like tattoo shops have sort of an insurance? Like I wouldn't know, but do some of them have like an insurance policy in case they screw up? They'll cover the cost of covering it up or of fixing it.
Each shop's different. I think it depends on whether you're going to a good shop or not.
Yeah, that's fair.
But like, I don't remember exactly what was on my the thing that I had to sign, but it was a big thing that was like, this is you're permitting me to do this to your body, yada yada yada. I think I don't know because I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I'm pretty sure it's like you're the one who's like responsible.
For
So
making sure that the stencil matches what you want.
Yeah.
Where you want, yeah.
It's kind of like it's more of like an agreement between you and the tattoo artist where they're sort of like you have to agree to put your trust in each other, and if you do that then the tattoo is going to be at its best. Like my tattoo artist, I like trust her completely, so when I go in I'm like, this is what I want, but you tell me if it's not right, if the size isn't right, if you know something's not going to work, because at the end of the day I'm not the expert. Like, so you tell me if something needs to be changed, if you need it, like you have your creative freedom. And in return, like it's my job to say, I don't like that, or I want to move this stencil.
Right.
I think that's the kind of, when you get the best tattoo is when you have that like rapport with your tattoo artist. So you can be like, you know, I want this changed. And in response, they're
Well, that's why like
waiting for you to say that.
it seems like there's a huge amount of trust with it. Like, and I think that's part of maybe my hesitancy is that everybody sees them, like really crappy tattoos. Everybody's seen them. You don't want to say anything, but you can tell it was like a $5 drunk tattoo at a festival, you know? I don't want that kind of thing. I want, like, I love the hyper realistic stuff. Basically,
Yeah.
what looks like the expensive tattoos, like somebody that is good at shading that can make it look like a piece of art and not just like a,
Mm.
a temporary tattoo somebody slapped on you. So for that, like, you got to get into some of these really nice shops that can be very expensive. So like what would have been a $50 tattoo from a local store or shop at one of those big, really elite exclusive ones in Denver, it's going to be like a $500 tattoo for the same thing.
Yeah.
But to me, it's almost worth it because it's like, if it's going to be on you
Of course
for the
it
rest of
is.
your life.
You're paying for the art, aren't you? And it's one of these things where if it goes wrong, it can go badly wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I found my tattoo artist because she tattooed a friend of mine. So I like saw her work in real life and thought it looked incredible. And then I did a lot of research and I like checked out the shop beforehand. I went into the shop beforehand just to make sure everything was like I was happy with everything. But the thing is, like, once you do find an artist that you really, really like, chances are you're not going to need to find anyone else. Unless you want, like, loads of different styles or whatever. It's like, once you find your artist, it's like, okay, I've found the person who I vibe with and I like their tattoos and they know how we work or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's one of these things. I think it's really interesting, though. I like love tattoos. I love talking about them.
I think I am gonna get one. We'll just, who knows, maybe when we go to E3, we'll all get.
Go to one of them LA tat spots.
Yeah.
We'll all get one.
That'd be good fun. We could do that.
It would
Yeah,
be
you're
fun.
out.
sure.
But with that being said, we've come full circle almost, talking about hyperrealism. Luke said that, but then he talked for too long for it to be relevant anymore.
You're welcome.
So great
Is
job,
this your
Luke.
way of trying to end this because we've got 5 minutes left?
Well, yeah, we've got 5 minutes left, and I've got to head down to Fort Collins. I got to start moving. Or as they say, if you don't get your caboose on the scooter,
They'll caboose your scooter.
there's the only rhyme I can think of is shooter. And
Probably for the best that you didn't nail that one. Well, thank you all.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you for having me. This was lovely. Good
Here's
talk.
a kiss. Don't fight over it.
I blew 2.
I'm not gonna give you any.
All right, good. Well, Luke gave 2, so we already have 3.
Yeah.
We didn't even need you.
How?
Wow, rude. Well,
Goodbye, everybody. Come join us next time for Tuesday and more for Tuesday's show.
Bye.
Bye.
bye.